your spiritual anxiety begins to dissolve the moment you discover the hidden power of dolce far niente. While the spiritual world keeps insisting that awakening requires constant movement, complex rituals, and endless practices, your body remains stuck in a state of high alert that never truly finds rest. The hidden truth is devastatingly simple. You've been doing everything the wrong way. What the ancients once called the art of doing nothing is not a lack of life, if it is the most refined form of nervous system regulation that exists. Every second of spiritual agitation only feeds exactly what you're trying to heal. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to turn conscious stillness into a ritual that dissolves tensions inherited across generations, regulates your heartbeat, and reopens portals of intuition that have been blocked by overwhelm. What many call laziness is, in fact, the exact place where your transformation begins. When you dare to stop completely, your body finally remembers how to breathe in harmony with your soul, and it's within that sacred silence that awakening stops being a theory and becomes a visceral experience. This is the secret that the deepest spiritual traditions have guarded for thousands of years. Stopping consciously is not surrendering to failure, but the most radical act of courage there is. In a civilization that mistakes busyness for spiritual progress, choosing sacred stillness is an act of rebellion against all the conditioning that keeps you trapped in cycles of seeking without ever finding. What you're about to learn challenges the modern logic of awakening. There is a specific neurological zone in your brain, directly connected to the vagus nerve, that only activates when you stop trying to control your spiritual evolution. When you practice dolce far niente with structured intention, dormant circuits of intuition and self-healing literally wake up, forming new neural connections that regulate anxiety, dissolve hypervigilant patterns, and re-establish direct communication between heart and mind. In the ancient temples of Egypt, initiates knew this technology as the portal to fertile emptiness. Taoist masters called it Wu Weitha, art of letting life flow through you without mental interference. Today, you'll receive a precise ritual, lasting between 12 and 18 minutes, that brings together this ancestral wisdom with recent discoveries about brain plasticity. This practice not only dissolves tensions you've carried for years, but reprograms your presence in the world, allowing spiritual energy to flow once again through channels that had been blocked by excess effort. By the time you finish this video, you'll hold in your hands a key that transforms rest into awakening. 5,000 years ago, in the sacred temples of Egypt, the initiates already understood that the human body had an internal regulation system that only functioned fully in the absence of mental effort. They called this alignment with the kata vital force that flows when the mind stops, interfering with the body's natural healing processes. What those sages discovered through intuition has now been confirmed by neuroscientist Stephen Porges through the polyvagal theory. There is a specific nerve, the vagus nerve, that governs our ability to experience safety, connection, and expanded states of consciousness. When you practice Wu Wei, the Taoist principle of effortless action, you are literally activating the ventral branch of the vagal system. This is the part responsible for signaling to your brain that it is safe to let go of primitive defenses and access higher functions like intuition and creativity. Recent research on neuroplasticity reveals something extraordinary. Structured pauses, lasting 15 to 20 minutes, create time windows in which the prefrontal cortex can reorganize neural connections, freeing itself from the control of the amygdala and other survival structures that keep the body in a constant state of alert. What ancient masters once described as fertile emptiness, modern science now identifies as periods of heightened neuroplasticity. moments in which the brain literally restructures itself toward more coherent patterns of functioning. This convergence between ancestral wisdom and contemporary scientific discoveries is no coincidence. Both point to the same fundamental truth about how human consciousness was designed to operate in harmony with the natural rhythms of activity and rest. Let's begin by preparing your body temple to receive this deep regulation alchemy. Find a space where you can lie down fully, preferably on the floor, using a rug or mat allowing gravity to work in your favor. Place a cushion or pillow under your knees to release tension in the lower back and let your pelvis settle naturally. Let your hands rest loosely beside your body, palms facing upward in a gesture of total receptivity. Gently close your eyes and allow your eyelids to grow heavy, as if curtains were slowly drawing down over the window of your outer awareness. The first step is to establish a breathing rhythm that precisely activates your parasympathetic system. Begin by breathing naturally for 3 cycles, simply observing your current breathing pattern without trying to change it. After this initial observation, start the technique of extended exhalation. Inhale gently to a count of 4. Hold the breath for a brief moment, and exhale slowly to a count of 6. The longer exhale compared to the inhale is the secret code that signals your vagus nerve that it's safe to let go of vigilance. As you follow this rhythmic breathing, direct your attention to the solar plexus, area located about 4 fingers above your navel, at the base of your sternum. Imagine there is a spiritual stomach there, an energetic command center that governs both your physical digestion and your ability to process emotional experiences. With each long exhale, visualize this spiritual stomach softening, relaxing its inner walls, and creating more space to receive. Don't force this visualization, let it happen naturally, like a flower opening to the morning sun. Continue this breathing pattern for about 5 minutes, sensing how each exhale melts away layers of tension you didn't even know you were carrying in this central region of your body. Keep the established breathing pattern and gently place your right hand over your solar plexus, while your left hand rests on your lower abdomen, about 3 fingers below your navel. This hand placement creates an energetic circuit between 2 fundamental neurological centers: the upper vagal complex, which governs the heart and lungs, and the enteric complex, which regulates digestion and emotional processing. The warmth of your hands acts as a signal of safety, telling your nervous system that it's safe to release stored tension in these areas. Over the next 8 minutes, you may begin to notice involuntary movements, emerging small tremors in your legs, waves of heat moving through your body, spontaneous sighs, or subtle rocking in the pelvic area. These are neurogenic tremors, a natural response as your body releases muscular contractions that had been frozen in protective patterns. Don't try to control them or force them, just allow them to unfold as an expression of your body's innate wisdom reorganizing itself. If emotions begin to surface, tears, waves of sadness, or an unexplained sense of relief, welcome them as signs that deep layers of tension are finally finding resolution. These emotions are not problems to be solved, but information that had been stored in your body's tissues and can now be processed and integrated in a healthy way. If subtle pelvic movements arise, to knee shifts or gentle rotations, allow them, as they help release tension stored at the base of the spine and the sacral region. Continue breathing with the 4-6 pattern, keeping your hands in place as anchors of safety, while your nervous system completes cycles of release that may have been suspended for years. This is an organic process of self-regulation that occurs when you offer your body a safe container to express its natural intelligence for healing. Gradually, bring both hands to the center of your chest, one on top of the other, creating a direct connection with your physical and energetic heart. This gesture signals the transition into the sealing phase, where you integrate and imprint the changes that have just taken place in your nervous system. Adjust your breathing pattern to 5 seconds of inhaling and 5 seconds of exhaling. This creates what researchers call cardiac coherence state, where the heart, mind, and nervous system operate in perfect synchrony. As you follow this coherent breath, choose an anchor word that represents the quality you want to cultivate in the coming days. It could be stillness, clarity, sweetness, presence, or any term that resonates with your deeper intention. With each inhale, allow this word to gently enter the heart space. With each exhale, feel it expanding through your entire energy field. This is not just a relaxation technique, it's a subconscious programming process that establishes a new vibrational frequency in your system. As you hold your focus on the anchor word, become aware of the full weight of your body being completely supported by the earth. Feel how every part of your head, shoulders, back, arms, hips, and legs rests in complete trust in the gravitational force that holds you effortlessly. This physical surrender is a direct gateway into deep states of spiritual trust. After 5 minutes in this sealing state, begin the transition into a seated position by moving very slowly, honoring the subtle changes that have occurred in your system. Once seated, gently lift your sternum, allowing the heart to open and the shoulders to broaden. This final posture integrates the inner expansion you cultivated during the practice, sealing it into your physical and energetic stance so it can continue to reverberate throughout your day. Serafina had dedicated 27 years of her life to the spiritual path. At 52, her bookshelf overflowed with sacred texts, her altar was always immaculate, and her schedule was filled with practices that promised elevation. Even so, she slept poorly, woke up with a clenched jaw, and carried a constant restlessness in her chest that no meditation could ease. For years, she interpreted this inner agitation as a sign that she needed to try harder, meditate longer, add more rituals to an already overloaded routine. The revelation came one afternoon in December when she noticed that her shoulders were tense even during prayer. Her entire body had turned into a clenched fist, maintaining a state of constant alertiveness in the moments she had dedicated to the sacred. That's when she understood her spiritual quest had become just another mechanism of control, another way of trying to force life to meet her expectations for growth. When she discovered the ritual of conscious rest, she resisted at first. Stopping felt like a contradiction to everything she had learned about spiritual discipline. But in the very first session, something extraordinary happened. For the first time in decades, her breath found a natural rhythm, her shoulders softened, and a single tear of relief rolled down her face without any apparent reason. In the weeks that followed, decisions began to flow with a clarity she had forgotten was possible. Serafina discovered that the sacred did not need to be earned through effort. It had been patiently waiting in the space between her breaths, in the silence between her thoughts, in the pause she had finally allowed to exist. The greatest obstacle that keeps you from fully embracing this practice is the ancestral guilt, etched into your nervous system by the culture of constant productivity. Since childhood, you've been conditioned to believe that stopping means failure, that resting is laziness, and that your worth is measured by how much you get done. This programming runs so deep that even when your body begs for a pause, an inner voice whispers accusations of laziness and abandonment of purpose. The transmutation of this limiting belief begins when you understand a revolutionary truth. Conscious stillness is the most productive act that exists from an energetic perspective. When you stop scattering your energy across mechanical activities and allow your nervous system to reorganize. You create the ideal conditions for genuine insights, aligned decisions, and effective action to arise naturally from your essence. To integrate this new understanding into your daily life without triggering internal resistance, begin with micro-rituals of 60 seconds, 3 deep breaths before every transition of the day, 1 minute of silent contemplation after each meal, or simply allowing yourself to sit without purpose for a few moments before sleep. These small gestures gradually reprogram your relationship with time and with the value of not doing. What you've just discovered goes far beyond any relaxation technique or wellness method. You've touched the secret architecture of genuine spiritual awakening, not the kind that happens when you add more practices to your life, but the kind that unfolds when you finally allow life to breathe through you without interference. Every moment of conscious pause you cultivate from this point on is not time wasted, but time reclaimed from the tyranny of a mind that never rests. Lao Tzu, 25 centuries ago, captured this truth in just a few words. It is the empty space that makes a bowl useful. It is the hole at the center that lets the wheel turn. Emptiness is not absence, it is pure potential, the fertile field where all possibilities wait for your permission to unfold. When you embrace the dolce far niente as a sacred practice, you are offering the universe the space it needs to co-create through you. True spiritual power has never resided in the accumulation of techniques, rituals, or knowledge. It lies in the quality of presence you cultivate in the spaces between actions, in the silences between words, in the pause between one breath and the next. It's in these seemingly empty spaces that your soul whispers guidance the busy mind could never hear. For thousands of years, your body has been patiently waiting for you to remember this ancient truth. It was designed to be a temple, not a machine. When you offer your body temple the gift of conscious pause, it immediately remembers how to dwell in the sacred, how to pulse in harmony with deeper cosmic rhythms, how to be a portal between worlds instead of a besieged fortress. Right now, as your cells still vibrate with the frequency of this revelation, a new possibility is being born within you. With every breath you choose to make conscious, with every pause you allow to exist. You are not merely resting, you are taking part in the most revolutionary act of all, relearning the lost art of being fully human. If this video resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This helps us expand this field of wisdom to more people who are ready to rediscover the transformative sweetness of not doing. I'd love to know how this practice resonated in your body and your soul. Write in the comments, "I embrace the sweetness of doing nothing and allow the emptiness to become everything." This affirmation seals your intention to honor the sacred rhythms that live within you. Share this message with someone who needs to remember that stopping consciously is the deepest act of courage there is. And keep walking this path of awakening. Click on the screen now and watch another transformative video. Every conscious pause you cultivate brings you closer to the wholeness that has always been your true nature. And remember, when you dare to fully inhabit the present moment, the entire universe conspires to let your most authentic essence finally bloom.